were a kid, was there a particular meal that your parents made you that developed into kind of a childhood comfort food? For me, when my mom would break out that she's making shepherd's pie, whew, us kids, we knew we were in store for a belly bomb of a treat. Now, it would take her nearly the entire afternoon to make this, but man, it was one of the, to this day, it's been a solid 17, no. Caleb and I were coming back from a Arizona trip a few years back, and she happened to have some shepherd's pie that she had made, and that was the first time I had had it since I was a kid. I mean, a long time ago. So we're leading into today's freeze-dried meal review that I am absolutely super excited to be diving into. It's Backpacker's Pantry shepherd's potato stew in beef. I have high expectations for this one right here, and I hope it is a path down memory lane from childhood. So anyways, let me get you up to speed as far as what you're going to do. Over the last handful of months, we've been releasing quite a handful of freeze-dried meal reviews, and today's going to be another episode. So what's going to happen here in a moment, I'm going to go through the nutritional facts on this here. I'm going to share with you how to make this, and then we're going to prepare this. Got the water right here ready to go. And then we're going to dive into it and ultimately see, is this a meal that I would recommend? Ultimately, at the end of this video, there will be a scorecard. Now, something to keep in mind as well.
As I always say,
all of our palates, taste buds are different from one another. And so just kind of keep that in mind. The whole idea with this is I'm going to share with you everything that I can in how I feel it smells and tastes and so forth. If your taste buds, which we have no idea if they are anywhere near aligned as mine, yeah, chances are you enjoy it. I would recommend you going out there and picking it up. If it's something that I like, I would just say go out there and pick it up regardless and give it a go. Who knows? You may like it. And so anyways, let's dive into this. So this is a 2-serving meal here. Cream mashed potatoes, beef, vegetables, and cheddar cheese.
get in my belly!
Oh, hell yeah. All right, so 430 calories right there and 27 grams of protein. Okay, so this meal is good until July 25th, 33, so 2033. Okay, so that's about 10 years.
Oh, you can count. Good for you.
Now, as I always point out here, on a 2-serving meal, I'm a pig. I'm going to eat this entire thing. So I'm going to be covering the nutritional facts for 2 servings. I will put a screenshot of the back of this on here. If you're a single serving person or you're going to be sharing this with somebody, obviously look at the single servings. But for a twin serving, we're talking about 430 calories, as I mentioned a moment ago. Total fat, 10 grams. Saturated fat, 5 grams. Trans fat, 0 grams. Cholesterol, 40 milligrams. Sodium, 1690. Okay, so this is a little bit high. Total carbs, 59 grams. Dietary fiber, 8 grams. Total sugars, 9 grams. Included sugars, 0 grams. Protein, 27 grams. And then, of course, you have some other items down below. And what I will do here as well, if you care to know what they're cramming into these things, I will also put a screenshot of the ingredients, and you can pause the video and go looking through that. Now, all of these meals are pretty much always the same in how they make these things. You're going to remove and discard the oxygen absorber that is inside this thing. You're going to add whatever water or warm water. There are a few out there that require cold water, but in this case, it's going to be 1.5 cups of water or 360 milliliters of boiling water. You're going to stir well, seal the pouch. In this case, we're going to wait 8 minutes. We're going to stir again, reseal, and wait an additional 7 minutes. And then enjoy. That said, let's crack this thing open and see what we're working with here. We're going to remove our oxygen absorber. Ooh, you know what? These sort of meals, they never smell as good when they're all dried up as they do when they're hydrated. This is already smelling pretty darn good. Wow. Okay. This is pretty exciting. As I pointed out many times in some of the previous reviews that we do, when these things are dried and kind of freeze-dried in the state that they are right here, they never smell as good as they do once they've been hydrated. This thing is smelling already awfully delicious. And as you can see right off the get-go, well, you know what? Let's just pour it in the bowl and just be done with it. I mean, look at that. I mean, already we can see a ton of vegetables in here. We have our corn peas. These are our little beef chunks right here. There's our little carrot chunks. And obviously all these white pieces are going to be our potatoes. Now, the one part I'm not... Oh, no, these have to be our potatoes. So this, I'm almost curious what that is right there. Because I'm guessing these little flaky parts right here, that's our potatoes. But this, and then you have these little... other little chunks right here, which maybe cheddar cheese. Oh, you know what? That's right. There's the cheese factor in there. So maybe these big chunks are the cheese, and these little pieces are our potatoes. But there's a lot of just absolute goodness. Let's take a look. Now I'm curious about this here. Tomato powder. Okay, that could be tomato. I don't know whether that's tomato. Dehydrated garlic, sea salt, dried onion powder, thyme ground pepper. I am drawing a blank on what the hell those are, but we're going to dive into it regardless. So, as we can see here, there is a nice blend of vegetables, potatoes, meat, and of course that oh so good, you know it, cheddar cheese. All right, let's not waste any time. Let's get this back into the pouch before I go spilling this, and let's get this hydrated. Okay, boom. Come on. There we go. All right. Let's get the water in here. As always, we're going to pour just a little bit in here first to kind of... Holy smokes. Almost cliche for me at this point. That smell that's coming out of this here. Wow. I'm telling you. I'm not a gambling person, but I am now confident. I think, based upon how this smells, this one is going to be a rock star. Yeah. This is going to be Christmas in a pouch. Okay, get the last of that water in there. Okay. Now, if you are new to freeze-dried meals, I can't stress the importance of making sure you get a really good stir going on. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you do get some crunchies, but just get a good stir, and you can avoid all those. All right. All right, so we can see already this is really transforming quite a bit. But let's seal this thing up. Let's wait I believe it said 8 minutes. Then we're going to crack this thing back open, stir it a little bit more, and finish it off. Okay, let's crack this open and give it our stir. Ooh. Yep, that is smelling the part, friends. That is smelling absolutely delightful. And we can see the texture of this is really thickening up pretty fast. It definitely has that stew texture to it right now. All right. All right. And as the instructions insist, we are going to seal it back up and let it sit for another 7 minutes. And then you and I are going to come back. We're going to pour it out. We're going to take a look at it, what it looks like hydrated. Actually, hey, Siri, set timer for 7 minutes.
7 minutes starting now.
Anyways, so when this thing gets done counting here, we'll come back, we'll take a look at it, and then we're going to dive into it and ultimately see, hey, is it as delicious as it looks? All right, it is time. I haven't been this excited. Wow. That smells rich. That smells, And let me clarify, like, there's a lot happening here. My entire studio smells absolutely like it's ready for business, and I'm not gonna waste any time with this here. I was trying to figure out what I was gonna do there. We're just gonna pour this out. Holy smokes. Usually at this point, when I'm doing this, the meal's coming out. That just shows how thick this is right here. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Right. You know what? Let me get the big guy in there. This could become a mess. This is really. I hope it's hydrated properly, because this is really. Oh, look at, there we go right there. But you know what? That's because I got on the little crack, so you can see some of the potato flakes not hydrated. That's testament to why you want to stir it up really, really good. Oops, I just cheated. I'm not gonna say a word until we go over it, but so here we are. All right, I'm gonna stir in the little pieces of potato that were kind of stuck in the cracks down the bottom there that are clearly not hydrated, so yeah, it doesn't mess up. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it definitely smells a lot better than it looks, but for a stew that came out of a bag, come on, you know there's gonna be some flavor in here. Now, all those veggies that we saw earlier are obviously, as we can see here, kind of camouflaged in. A moment ago, I saw some string cheese kind of pulling aside. From a scent standpoint, there's a lot happening right here. There's a lot happening, and we can see that. The beef chunks are kind of blended in. There's little bits of cheese that you saw kind of stringing away, and it is very, very thick. We see our peas, our corn. I'm still kind of curious on what those little red bits are. I bet you those are just kind of dried tomatoes, I would almost guess. But this looks really fantastic. So let's dive in. Okay, moment of truth. Here we go. Potato hits you right off the get-go. That cheese. Yeah, those little red bits are 100% tomato. Freeze-dried tomato of some sort. And the corn, you have that nice crunchy. The corn, when you look at this texture like this, I mean, it's definitely very pasty, very like a stew substance. I would almost bet even just a tad bit more water, just loosen this up just a little bit more, wouldn't hurt. You can taste the corn in the background. And the corn, I like, the corn and the peas give you that change in texture to that kind of pasty, stewy. Obviously, as you can see here, rest of it here, you can taste the onion in the background as well. The beef is real mild back note, but is this as good as my mom's growing up? My mom would kill me if I said yes, but it is very tasty. Will this end up in my trailer heading out for future? Oh, absolutely. Heck yeah. This is really, really tasty.
But wait, there's more.
I can see a meal like this being perfect. Now we're coming into the winter season, so we have a lot of winter camping trips coming up. Something like this, as you're eating it, it just sticks to you. It's going to be a belly bump. This is going to be perfect. Now, what I'm kind of curious about here, because again, we're talking about 430 calories here. How is this going to sit after you're done eating? Now, some of the meals, you know, pig like me that does eat both servings, yeah, you feel it afterwards and so forth. I really want to bring it up again. Potato, and yeah, that crunch in the back note taking place, and you're getting those little punches of onion, which if you like onion, I don't taste the peas as much as I do the corn. The corn's working overtime. The onions is back there, but the immediate what you taste first is that potato fused with the cheese. And I think the beef and the peas are kind of both kind of sitting on the side bench. You know they're there, but they don't bring as much to the table as the rest of this. This is really, really flavorful. Let's take a look at the scorecard. All right, friends, there you go. Another freeze-dried meal. Again, Backpackers Pantry, Shepherd's potato stew with beef. Yeah, as I have pointed out in previous episodes, there's actually two kind of scorings here. One is the scorecard that you see there, and the other is ultimately, is it going to end up as kind of my A squad in my camping rig? Yeah, this will be part of the A squad, definitely during the winter months. This is really, really tasty. But friends, that is it for me here today. As always, what I will do is I'll put links down below. I would encourage you definitely give this one a go. This is definitely worth getting out there and trying, especially as we're coming to the colder months and so forth. And what I'll do is I will put links to some of the other reviews that we've done as well. But friends, thank you very much for joining me here today. If you have any questions, leave some comments down below. Otherwise, I will see you during the next video.